Hello and welcome to Hedgewitch Hearthcraft. I am Caitlin Rhiannon. Thank you so much for joining me for this look at the week ahead. I'm going to be using tarot cards and oracle cards to get an idea of the energy for the week of October 25th to 31st, 2020, and how we can best navigate throughout or within those energies. So I'm going to be pulling 2 cards for every sign of the Western Zodiac. The first card will be from the modern Spellcaster'sTarot, and that'll give us an idea of what we're going to be dealing with over this coming week. And the second card will be from the Heart of Faerie Oracle, and that'll give us some advice on how to deal with the energy of the week. At the very end, I'll also be pulling a card from the Super Attractor deck. That'll give us just a little bit of motivation or something to focus on to keep in our hearts over this coming week. So if you choose to skip ahead to the cards that are pulled for your sign, make sure you also jump ahead to the very end so that you can get a little bit of that goodness in your life this week. Now, since it is Scorpio season, let's go ahead and get started with our lovely Scorpios. Scorpio, your tarot card for the week of October 25th to 31st, 2020, happy Halloween, is the Moon reversed. So there is an anxious week coming up. There is a sense of having a really hard time balancing your emotional and spiritual and mental selves. So your intuition is really hard to hear over the voice of your anxiety. There's a lot of questions. The moon reversed, a lot of the time, it can mean literal nightmares, like your subconscious not working with or in alignment with your conscious and your superconscious. So there is a lot of mental and emotional, especially, imbalance over this coming week. Now, the oracle card that comes along is the Hidden One. And because of this, Scorpio, you are being asked to look a little bit deeper than just at the surface, especially if what you are seeing on the surface doesn't feel right to your inner self and it's making your mental self just completely out of whack, out of balance. Keep diving a little bit deeper. I know you probably don't want to have to do that. You always have to do that, Scorpio. You have untold depths within yourself, and going deep can be a little intimidating. But right now and over this next week, it's important to look at what is not clearly visible, to look deeper within yourself at what you might be hiding within yourself, and to look deeper within the situation for factors that might not be clearly visible just hanging out on the surface. Sagittarius, your tarot card for the week of October 25th to 31st, 2020, happy Halloween, is the King of Pentacles reversed. So there's actually a bit of financial temptation over this next week, it looks like, because when the King of Pentacles reverses, it gets really easy to ignore your responsibilities and what is owed of you in favor of doing what feels good in the moment. So there is a potential risk here of skipping the work that needs to get done in favor of the fun thing just for now. And that can create some financial imbalance, to say the least. You know, having the fun over this next week, in the next few weeks, depending on the choices that you make, might lead to a heavier impact. Now, the oracle card that comes along this week is In Two Minds, which reminds you to think of both sides before you make a decision, not to act too hastily, but it almost confirms a little bit of anxiety. If you are dealing with a little anxiety right now, Sagittarius, that's fine. But don't let that determine what you are doing with your financial self and with your responsibilities. If you're too anxious to make a decision, but a decision still needs to be made, it might help to, instead of being in two minds of your own, talk it out with a friend or with somebody who is in a similar situation, or somebody who has been through a similar situation, or just somebody who can be a sounding board for you to figure out how to make the right decision. Capricorn, your tarot card for the week of October 25th to 31st, 2020. Happy Halloween. is the moon. So your intuition is a little heightened over this next week. Your sensations and your sensitivity is a little higher right now. And that can mean emotionally you are a little bit more sensitive to what is being said to you or being done to you or around you, your environment. You're a little bit more reactive or more likely to be reactive. This also means that your spiritual sensitivity, your empathy, it's a little bit stronger. So you can tell when someone is not telling the whole truth, even if they're telling part of the truth. You can tell when someone is not, when they're feeling things more than they're letting on. And you're probably feeling things a little bit more than you're letting on too. So, be willing to express in exchange for expression. Now, the oracle card that comes along is the Lady of the Forest. And you're being reminded that these emotions and this sense of heightened spirituality or spiritual connection, this is normal, this is natural, this is part of you. The Lady of the Forest asks you to connect with your roots, with your natural self, with nature. If that means going out into the forest yourself, literally, and putting your hand against a tree and just leaning there, and feeling the way that the tree is connected to the earth and feeling yourself being connected through connecting to the tree, then do it. If all you have to do is go into yourself and ground your energies, do that. But let this happen, let this flow, and try not to force anything right now. Aquarius, your tarot card for the week of October 25th to 31st, 2020. Happy Halloween. Is the Queen of Swords reversed. So this shows disconnection from your mental self. So not being sure about what is going on in your own head. There is a lot of cluttered thoughts, a lot of overthinking and almost trying to rationalize your feelings and situations that might not have any rational foundation. And that can add to feelings of stress or anxiety or uncertainty and feeling like everything is up in the air and you have no active control over how things are going. And that can make you feel like you are losing control of your own mind, or even potentially feel like you are losing your mind. Even if that is not the case, it looks like it's probably a pretty stressful week. And the biggest risk of the reversed Queen of Swords is that you can turn that against other people and forget to show compassion because you aren't showing compassion to yourself. Now, the oracle card that comes along this week is the Queen of the Golden Bough. So you're being asked to take responsibility for yourself, not for anybody else, only for you and what you have immediate control over. And if that isn't very much at all, then there's a little bit of a load off of how much you need to be responsible for, isn't there? But you're being asked to prioritize, to make sure that you are staying grounded as you can with everything going on up in your head right now. And to not let everything going on in your mind determine how you act and how you treat other people. There is a sense of connecting to your deepest integrity will help you through this week. Pisces, your tarot card for the week of October 25th to 31st, 2020, happy Halloween, is the Hierophant. So over this next week, it really is probably going to be feeling like you are stuck obeying rules and regulations and following in the footsteps of those who have come before, and not a lot of carving your own way right now, not a lot of, it might feel like you're not expressing yourself as an individual as much as you normally could or would. And you might feel a little bit like you're being restricted by other people's limitations. So this following other people's paths can help you to structure your own self right now. So there is a lot of benefit that you can gain from this week. Try not to let that bore you. The oracle card that comes along is the Lady of Unicorns, which says to believe in miracles, believe in all of these good things that can happen, and trust yourself. Know that you are doing what is best for you long term. Not necessarily what is nicest in the moment, but you are leading yourself towards like true healing and deeper stabilization and stability. You're really being asked with this Lady of Unicorns to believe in yourself, even if you are feeling like you're struggling, even if you are feeling really bound by limitations. Know that you yourself are limitless. You can do anything. Right now, maybe you just need to do this before you can do the next fun thing. Aries, your tarot card for the week of October 25th to 31st, 2020, happy Halloween, is the Queen of Swords. So you are connecting a bit more strongly, a bit more deeply with your mind, with your mental self, and with your powers of reason, rationality, and logic. This is a really intellectual, thought-powered week for you, Aries. There's probably a sense of not necessarily learning, almost like you've already done the learning, and now you are at the point of processing, integrating what you have learned, and figuring out. You're not at the point of using it, but this is the figuring out how to use it or where to go from here. There's a deeper sense of inspiration. Your muse is waking up, not necessarily in full force, but starting to tickle at the edges of your mind right now. This week's oracle card is the Pan, and you're really being asked even to have fun. Aries, do what makes you happy. You're doing a lot of thought work, a lot of mental processing and using your mental powers this week. So make sure that, it's not all work. Make sure that you're using your mental powers in a way that is fun. If you like to do puzzles, if you like to solve problems, that sort of thing, that can be a really good way to help integrate what you have learned and process it so that you can use it. But make it fun, make it a game, make it something that feels like you are bringing yourself to your next level. Taurus, your tarot card for the week of October 25th to 31st, 2020, happy Halloween, is the Ten of Cups. Now, this is one of the happily ever after cards. This is one of the best cards in the deck. So over this next week, you have got some things to be happy about. You have got some things to celebrate and some people to share those things with. This is ultimate positivity and feeling satisfied and fulfilled and feeling like you have done a lot of hard work. Finally, you are starting to be rewarded for it. You have put up with a lot. You have dealt with a lot. You have been working through and working on so much. And now you are starting to not only see the rewards of your labor, but to actually receive the rewards of your labor. You are appreciating and enjoying everything that you have worked for starting this week. The oracle card that comes along this week is the Question. And so you're being reminded to not to stop asking. To keep driving yourself forward, to keep checking in with yourself and saying, is this what I want? Does this make me happy? Because even with the Ten of Cups bringing fulfillment, you are continuing to grow and change and shift and evolve. So what makes you happy in this moment might not be what makes you happy 10 years from now. So take all of this good, but make sure that you're checking in with yourself and going, is this right? Is this leading me towards my ultimate highest good? Gemini, your tarot card for the week of October 25th to 31st, 2020, happy Halloween, is the Eight of Pentacles reversed. So there is a little bit of frustration this week, especially on a more material or financial level. What you've been working towards feels like it just isn't, either it isn't paying off or it isn't giving you what you had expected or what you had wanted from the beginning. And maybe this is because your desires have changed, but more likely it feels like you're spinning your wheels, and the work that you have done, because of this lack of success or lack of movement, it's almost like you're invaluing or invalidating the work that you've already put in. It doesn't feel like it's good enough. So it's almost like, what's the point? And there may even be a sense of it all starting to fall apart. Now, the oracle card that comes along this week is the challenge, which confirms that this is a challenge for you. It's not meant to be an easy week, Gemini. This is a test. It may be a test to see how far you will go before you give up, or to make sure that you don't give up, or to get you to stop spinning your wheels and get out of the vehicle and find your own way. This is a challenge, and it is going to be up to you to deal with it. That doesn't mean that you can't get help, but this does mean that there's nobody who can solve this problem for you. You're going to have to deal with it yourself. Cancer, your tarot card for the week of October 25th to 31st, 2020, happy Halloween, is the Eight of Wands reversed. So it might feel like you're not going anywhere at all. Your movement is delayed, it's slowed down, it is hindered. There's a lot of obstacles in your path right now, and it is probably going to be a little frustrating because over this next week, it might feel like you're making little to no actual progress. There's a reason for this. This isn't a time to be rushing forward or driving yourself forward or pushing in any particular direction. There is a need to stay grounded and maybe reduce to less than even one step at a time. Take a step and pause and process and pay attention to where you are and look around before you even think about starting to take that next step. That might be what's going on with this halted movement. The oracle card for this week is the Remembrance. And as this comes up, you're being asked to look back, to reflect. Look at where you have come before you try so hard to drive yourself forward in a new direction. Make sure that you are remembering what matters to you. This may be a little uncomfortable because this may call up memories of events or people that are no longer relevant to your life. And it can be a little bit of an emotional rehashing. But in order for you to find the movement forward that you want, you're going to need to be doing a little bit of looking back. Leo, your tarot card for the week of October 25th to 31st, 2020, happy Halloween, is the Six of Swords. So you're doing some moving on this week, Leo. You are leaving behind some sort of emotional stagnation or emotional pain. You're not letting your past define you anymore. And if you have been staying in a situation where you've been feeling stuck or stagnant or hurt or unhappy, miserable, there's no keeping you there anymore. Either you are making it happen or universe is facilitating it, but you are moving forward. You are getting out of this situation. You're not leaving everything behind. You're probably taking at least some of this with you. There is still going to be a bit of baggage that you're carrying that will need to be gone through and processed. But the important thing is you're getting out of a situation that no longer has anything to offer you. The oracle card that comes along this week is the Faerie of Naughtiness. And you are being asked to be naughty. Leo, have fun. Do what feels fun. Don't go out of your way to hurt people. Don't do things with no regard for other people in the world. But have fun. Be a little bit sassy. Be a little bit naughty. Stick your tongue out at the driver instead of swearing at them or laying on your horn. Just have fun. Connect to your inner childishness if you have to, and try not to feel too guilty about that. But Leo, you're getting away, so don't feel bad about having fun. Virgo, your tarot card for the week of October 25th to 31st, 2020, happy Halloween, is the Nine of Wands. So it probably feels like you're being met with a lot of resistance this week, with not a lot of support. It's a fight week. It is a push butting your head up against a brick wall over and over and over, just trying to hopefully get someone to see things from your perspective. But communication is not strong this week, and movement is not really happening. And by the end of the week, you might feel completely drained, because it's a week-long game of tug-of-war of trying to get someone to see things your way while maybe not really being willing to see things their way. There's a lot of resistance in all directions. The oracle card that comes along this week is the Smith. So you're being asked to keep working, keep pushing, keep driving yourself forward, even though it feels like you are hammering against just rock. What's the point? There is a point. It is eventually going to take you where you want to go. This also tells you not to worry too much, if you can help it, about what you have no power over. If you can't control it, there's no sense in fussing over it. If you can control something, even if it's frustrating or difficult or draining, do it. That's the advice that comes with this. But don't force yourself to try and do something that you just can't do. Libra, your tarot card for the week of October 25th to 31st, 2020, happy Halloween, is Sun reversed. So even reversed, Sun is a good card. Sun shows that there are blessings in your life and that there is warmth and appreciation and good things washing over you. The problem with it being reversed is that you aren't fully integrating or receiving or welcoming these gifts into your life. Maybe they aren't what you expected or what you had wanted in the first place, so you aren't, totally appreciative of them because you were expecting something different, something better. Maybe it's because you've got so much else going on that you have to deal with that you just don't feel like you have time to accept or appreciate the good. But it's there, and it's trying to make itself known to you, even if it's just, not a fully sunny day, but a few glimmers of blue sky between the rain. It is there. The sun is always present, sometimes just blocked by a cloud. And the oracle card this week is the Hidden One. So it's reminding you that all of these blessings and that everything you want is there. You just might not be able to see the way that it's developing right now. Libra, turn your focus to the sun so that you can unreverse this energy and pull all of this goodness into your life. Even if you don't know what it means right now, even if you don't necessarily even know what it is right now, it's there, it's waiting for you. The Hidden One has all of these good things to offer you. And this isn't a warning in this case, telling you to be careful of your step because something might trip you. This is advice and encouragement, asking you to open yourself up to this potential wonderful goodness that is just sitting outside, waiting for you to open the door. At the end of my readings, I like to pull a card from my favorite manifestation motivation deck, the Super Attractor. So I have just pulled one card for everybody here to give us an idea of what we should be holding in our hearts over this next week. Something to give us a little bit of motivation. And the card that I've drawn says, I feel my way into faith one step at a time. I feel my way into faith one step at a time. Now, affirmations can be pretty personal. They can say different things to different people. So do let me know in the comments down below what this one says to you. To me, it's about trust. I feel my way into faith, feeling, not thinking, not guessing, but feeling. I trust my feelings into my faith. I feel my faith. You can't think your faith, or guess your faith. You have to feel your faith one step at a time. And that gives me permission to just take one step at a time. I don't have to get from here to there in one great big jump. That's not practical. That might not even be possible. But one step at a time, just trusting my feelings, I can get there. But let me know in the comments what this one says to you. Thank you so much for joining me for this look at the week ahead. I hope that the readings in this video have been resonant and that they can provide just a sort of helpful, relevant compass to offer a little bit of clarity, guidance, whatever you need to get you through this next week. Please leave me a comment down below letting me know what you thought of the cards that were pulled for your sign, and what you thought of the super attractor at the very end. And if you liked the video, if it sang to your soul or it resonated, please do click the like button. And make sure that you're subscribed if you aren't already. I post weekly videos like this and monthly forecasts as well. I'll also make sure to put a link to my Facebook page in the description down below. If you follow me over there on Hedgewitch Hearthcraft, I post a daily free card to give us an idea of what we need for the day. And I do live videos over there, pulling free cards now and then. That's also the best way to get in touch with me if you ever want to book a reading of your own. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me. I hope you have a wonderful week. Happy Halloween, and blessed be.